Hey team, this is Ripper. Hope you guys are doing fantastic today. Got a fun video with the Prinz Adalbert. Yes, the new tier 10 secondary focus cruiser. I call it the Schlieffling Cruiser. And it's finally available now for grinding. So before it was the early release, now we passed 2 patches and today's patch day. Now it's available for us to just naturally grind it out, get it for free. I hope you didn't spend money on this thing. And I've noticed not many people are playing it during the early event. I didn't see many people playing it, and they burned down just as fast, and they died quickly. But let's take a look at it and see how it is. Is it worth the grind? And honestly, it's free ship. I mean, yes, anything that's free is worth it, but I just use free XP to get it. But as always, before we get into like, subscribe button below. Here's all the supporters of the channel. See evaluated here what we're doing here today. Smash those button, leave a comment. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you enjoy the show and get something out of it. All right, here we go. Prinz Adalbert, tier 10 German cruiser. And the gimmick really is the manual secondaries. You can see right here, what does this allow you to do? First of all, if you use it manually, it extends the range to 13.6 kilometers, which is incredible. I wish all the battleships did this. If you go manual, then you get an increase in range. Why not do that? And then, of course, automatic mode is the standard 12.5, kind of like the Schlieffling kind of thing. Notice that the guns pen 38 millimeters and 32 millimeters, so you really don't have to do anything with it IFHE-wise. It really is just baked into there. It's fine. I enjoyed that. Now, let's see how we play with it. TLDR, I don't think this thing is going to survive. It seems like it's a gimmick. It sounds fun. And it requires a little bit of learning curve to get this thing down to right, and you need some support. You can't just push in there like a Schlieffling can, because this thing can melt and die pretty quickly. That's the downside. The upside is you did definitely get some of the best secondaries in the game, fast, extended range, and manual. You can control it, and you can even aim at certain areas that normally wouldn't pin automatically, but now pin manually. So let's take a look at that, and that's it. I mean, my personal opinion, I don't think it's going to survive, honestly, the World of Warships meta, because you got to push in so much and it requires that pushing in. And I don't see many people, like I said, pushing and surviving. And it really requires a steep learning curve to get this thing to survive, because it's a cruiser. You forgot. It is a cruiser. It's got the cruiser symbol on it. Now, the cool thing about that is it frees up a battleship slot, which means you're not a Schlieffen or GK or Hanover. You can literally go in as a cruiser, but that's the downside. You got to be careful. Now, watch us go into manual mode right here. And I like the fact that I can fire multiple sets of guns. So while the guns are on reload, look, I can fire the manual secondaries, switch over to main guns, fire a salvo, and then boom, go back to manual secondaries. And notice it does 7,200 damage with the AP right there. So these are 350 millimeter guns. Not the greatest, but they're okay. They're there. I think, again, it's the secondaries that are the gimmick here that really want to sell you on, hey, let's fire, get manual secondary focus and see if we can get the meta of, oh, players are now controlling manual secondaries, which is a very, very interesting concept. And I do like that. I wish we go down more of the manual secondary route, more manual control of everything. The AA is another situation they haven't figured out yet, but we'll see where that goes. Notice that the maneuverability of the Prinz is really, really slow, sluggish. It's a cruiser, my gosh. Nothing more you can really do. It's just got to be very careful about moving this thing. You have a broadside, you have a citadel, so you got to be very, very cautious of that. So notice most of the time I'm like angling away, running away. Again, I'm not afraid. My secondaries reach out to 13.6 in manual mode. So right here you can see what we're doing. So let's take a look at this. We're going to melt, and there goes Lucian's popping there. Secondary reload time is redonkulous now. And look at that. We take a massive citadel from the Kremlin. And yeah, let's see if we can melt this Yamato down. So I can really aim all over this ship and figure out ways to pin it and melt it. Look at the secondaries. They're just destroying and eating this Yamato's lunch, its ship for lunch. Man, I'm sorry to say, Battleship players, you guys are just not being able to survive today's meta. I mean, I know a lot of guys are like, oh, I got them Yamato, yay, finally, but look, you just get melted. I mean, what are you going to do? Look at that shot he just took at us, did nothing, but look what we're doing to him. Kremlin still firing us from long range. I love it. All right, look at this. We're just melting the crap out of it. And then this is pretty much the gameplay of, kind of like figuring out and using island cover to get into, safe positions. And right there, what you're seeing right here is the gimmick. The smoke up the Prinz, and you get to continuously fire the secondaries, even if in smoke or if somebody is in smoke. And that is really the selling point, is you can keep firing the secondaries when most of the time the automatic would not fire. The manual will continuously fire. If someone is in smoke, keep shooting. If you're behind an island, keep shooting. If you're seeing a target that's behind a line and normally the manual secondaries wouldn't fire, well, guess what? Keep shooting. That's probably the gimmick and selling point of this thing, is it can really just allow you to use the secondaries at will. That's the cool part. I mean, it's just like the regular guns. my main guns fire over islands and stuff that I normally wouldn't shoot at. But hey, I'll just take a shot at it. And look at this. Look at these secondaries. My gosh. Tons and tons of secondaries firing. I like it. You can just keep the secondaries firing no matter what. And that's the cool part. You can get literally thousands and thousands of shells in the air with these secondaries. So pretty phenomenal there. Let's see. All right, we're not getting any pens on the San Martin there. He's probably going to die anyways. Yep, that's it. Anyways, yeah, let's take a look. All right, he's going back around. All right, see how can we attack this? All right, moving back again. I gotta watch the Kremlin firing from long range there. We can take a full broadside. All right, let's take a look at this engagement with GK right now. Man, I mean, 350 millimeter guns, they're there. Look, I did a little bit of damaged his guns, but here's the secondaries here. Now we got manual secondaries going on. We can go out to 13.6. Now, the downside is manual secondaries. The opposite secondaries will not fire. So if, let's say, there's a destroyer off my left, then obviously the automatic guns aren't going to fire. I wish that wasn't the gimmick. I wish they continuously fire anyways. Again, why would they not fire if I'm in manual mode? I don't know. Maybe it's the coding. They couldn't figure it out. But look at that. I'm starting tons and tons of fires with these things. Again, I'm still firing. And I think we burned down the GK after that. So, yeah, what do I think for the Prinz Adalbert? I'm not a cruiser player, honestly. It's interesting. Again, this is not a... Ooh, we get the GK. I am not a cruiser player, and if you're going to go secondaries, I would rather have a Schlieffen for the armor. I think the Schlieffen can do a better job in that regard. Maybe give manual secondaries to the Schlieffen. I think this was a gimmick to get you to play this cruiser because it is the only cruiser right now with manual secondaries that I believe is out there right now, right? Instead of testing. Just give Schlieffen and Ruprecht and all those other battleship, secondary focused German battleships, give them manual secondaries. I don't see the big deal. I just don't see the Prince really surviving. I mean, it is a very difficult ship to use and get the gimmicks going because it requires the pushing in, and you can see the meta of today's meta. The pushing in is just really, really difficult. Struggles. We got the Cyclone right now, so nothing happened right here. Hanover dies to Colombo. I don't understand that one, but okay. Let's see how we take on Colombo here. All right, he's at 37,000 health. We got kind of an equal matchup on armor here. Notice that I can switch to manuals and aim at his superstructure area that normally wouldn't hit because the automatic guns may, aim at a certain area because it's trying to aim at the center of the ship, and then it's trying to lead it more. But see, as a manual secondaries, I can then aim at maybe the bow or maybe at a certain area I know will damage and get damaged. See, like right now I can aim at the bow right here with the main guns. You see, it gives me a little bit more flexibility, if you will. But right now I'm letting the automatics fire here and seeing how it goes. And the torpedo angles are horrendous. I mean, a torpedo would have been a lot better normally on a Ruprecht or a Schlieffen, and we take out the Colombo flesh wound. So, yeah, I don't know. It seems very, very difficult to play. Now, look, we'll watch this enemy teams playing the Prinz Adalbert here and see how they push in. Again, once it gets focused down, it is really difficult to... that's with any ship, but it just can't tank. It's not a tanker. It's got the guns, but you got to use island cover. You sit behind islands, and that is boring gameplay. My personal opinion is sitting behind an island. At least this guy's pushing, but he's using the Cyclone to help him out. And let's see how he does against a Montana, which he normally should be able to just melt the crap out of with 32 mil armor, the majority of the area of Montana. But Montana could just pin this cruiser so well. And normally I would aim the secondaries at his bow or superstructure right now, and that's what he's kind of doing. But I guess he's using the automatic thing because he's not really getting too many pins there. He should melt this Montana easily if he just aims at the bow, 32 mil bow right there. But look at that. It just cannot sustain this amount of damage, especially you got Rhode Island. You got, of course, Schlieffen secondaries coming in. And, yeah, look at that. Right there, he just gets obliterated. So, again, even the enemy team has a problem with the Prinz Adalbert. So, we'll take a look at the armor after this and analyze it and look at the build. But, yeah, I just don't see it just panning out. It'll be a cool gimmick ship for a little while. People will try out the manual secondaries, but... I don't know. I mean, I'm a destroyer player. I'll just figure out ways to melt the crap out of it. I have been in the early testing of the Prinz Adalbert. It hasn't been surviving very well that I've seen, especially as me as a destroyer player, gunboating it down from smoke and island cover. Just not the greatest. We'll speed this up and see how it goes. we pretty much win this game just by sheer attrition here. Yep, Kremlin goes down, and yep, he gets blasted by Montana, and that's it. But let's take a look at the stats here. We get 136,000 damage. Not bad. 405 manual secondaries. Wow. Pretty wild there, top of the team. Let's see, not much with the main guns, but look at this. Over 1,400 shells fired, 68,000 damage with the secondaries, and again, 34,000 fire. So almost over over 100,000 damage in the secondary build, majority of it. So, wow. Again, it is a focused secondary ship. I think the automatic secondaries are pretty good, too. If you shoot left and right, both sides, that could work. Pens 32 all over the place. I think this is what Siegfried should have been back in the day when they touted Siegfried as the secondary cruiser. Maybe this is where this is trying to go, but yeah, manual secondaries there's coming at you. So let's take a look at the build at the dock here. Okay, so let's take a look at the Prinz Adalbert here and how it actually works out. And the reason why I'm thinking it's not going to survive very well is, look at this, 27 mil armor plating. And 100 mil there, that's okay. 30 mil, so anything pens 32. Yeah, getting a lot of hits right here. Superstructure's pretty small, but still, man, we were just getting focused down like crazy. Let's take a look. Where's that citadel at? And here's the citadel. So kind of underwater, but yeah, it's hard to hit. But I don't know. Let's see what's protecting it. Yeah, it's got that angled armor plating right there, so probably plunging fire will angle it, so not bad. But like I said, I don't think it will survive too much. You saw how we were just not able to tank too much and when we were in close. But the secondaries are the selling point. Look, man, look at all the secondaries right there. A lot of firepower. And let's take a look at the recommended build here. Recommended build standard just for, focus on secondaries. Lucians. The thing is the selling point. I think, of course, you got to have range. Within, yeah, we get better within the detection. We got a good detection, by the way. The concealment is inside of that secondary, so you got kind of stealth secondaries, if you want to call that. And that's pretty much it. Basic, starting fires and so forth. We did not take IFHE because you don't really need it. Where is IFHE? Yeah, here it is. That takes up a slot. You don't really need it because you already pinned 32 mil, so that's the base. So that's kind of the build of it. Let me know what you guys think of Prinz Adalbert, and with Lucians on it. Pretty interesting ship. Going to be difficult. We'll try it out a couple more games with it, but yeah, that's the meta. But as always, hope you guys are doing well. Smash those buttons, leave a comment. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a nice day. And if you see me out there, make sure you say hello. Take care. Cheers.